So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 17 of our season 3 here on F1 Manager 23. Now if you didn't watch the last episode in Singapore, quite action packed to be fair, but it was a Red Bull 1-2 Max Verstappen from George Russell, but then Pierre Gasly had the pace on Lando Norris last weekend. Lando Norris finishing in P4, a decent Grand Prix it must be said for us at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, all meaning that constructor standings wise we are behind Red Bull admittedly, but we are nicely in front of the Ferrari, sat in P2. If we could get P2 this season, that would be absolutely huge. Drivers standings-wise, Max Verstappen is leading the way on 359 points, but Lando Norris now is really nicely in front of Checo Perez. Pierre Gasly also up to P7. There's a lot to like about this Andretti Cadillac driver lineup this season. The F2 drivers are there and the F3 as well. And constructors-wise, of course, MP Motorsport leading the way in the F3 and Trident still leading the way in the F2. This weekend, we head to SUZUKA. Now, SUZUKA is a track that we've done well on before, and you can see that because Pierre Gasly has a lap record in 2023. We are expecting rain at Friday practice, but we should have a dry Saturday and a dry Sunday. We do have an historic safety car chance of 75%. Car attributes, high-speed cornering. This track should suit us, and the expected strategies, it normally is a two-stop one way or the other. So with all that being said, I'm going to get through practice, and I'll see you in qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix. This is it then, final laps in Q3, and Lando Norris posted a lovely first time, it must be said. We've had to be very, very careful as the sun is setting here in Japan on what tyres we've used in these quali sessions, just to make sure we've got the optimal tyres for the race tomorrow. Lando Norris doesn't improve but does stay. Well, now drops down to P4. We've got a few cars below who may look to improve a little bit. Is Lando Norris going to start in P4? He's not. It is going to be P5. And what a performance once again by Valtteri Bottas in the Audi. My word, these Audis look particularly quick at this moment in time. We had a different person setting the fastest lap in each qualifying session, but Lando's in P5 and Pierre is in P9. Let's get to the strategy. Right then guys, strategy time. Now it's got to be said this is going to be quite a dynamic race in terms of the strategies because there is hardly anything between the one stop and the two stop. We are going to go for the two stop, the more aggressive, but we are open to change, particularly with Pierre Gasly because he has only got another used set of soft compound tyres. So maybe we may go one stop with Pierre Gasly. We'll see how that progresses. Lando Norris will have the option at the end whether to go onto the mediums or the softs, depending on how it goes. I believe I've done medium before here and it's worked very well. So Lando Norris P4, Gasly P7. Let's get to 5 red lights.
We're all good to go here in Japan with 53 laps around the SUZUKA circuit. And we certainly know what Max Verstappen is capable of.
A second place start for them today. They'll be aiming for a podium, but could they even sneak the win?
But there's no more time left. We've got a race on our hands. Get ready. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away we are keeping an eye on Valtteri Bottas. Can he keep the lead going into turn 1? Verstappen's going to try and chip one down the outside, down the inside, but can't quite do it. Lando Norris does at the moment manage to stay in P4. We are going to tell him to try and get past these two Red Bulls, but to be fair, they will have the pace. Pierre Gasly has had a decent start. He's already past Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin and looking to attack the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc in front of him. Gasly side by side still with Lance Stroll early doors here as we settle in towards the middle part of lap 1. Lando Norris in P4, Gasly still jostling for position, against Lance Stroll. Charles Leclerc in P5 is looking pretty comfortable now, but they are still side by side, Gasly and Stroll, but Gasly just about looks like he's got the move made. Gasly up into P6, Norris in P4, Bottas still leads lap 1. You join us back on lap 4. Lando Norris is still sat in P4, but behind Max Verstappen, who's dropped out of the DRS range of George Russell and Valtteri Bottas. So Lando Norris getting the opportunity to pass Max Verstappen. Pierre Gasly is getting frustrated behind Charles Leclerc. He's not keeping pace with the two in front of him. Gasly, when he gets his next help in a DRS, may be able to attack the Ferrari. Lap 4. And what did we say? Pierre Gasly might get the chance to attack the Ferrari. He certainly has done. He's passed Charles Leclerc on the start-finish straight. And there goes Pierre Gasly up into P5. And he will now be very keen indeed to catch up with his teammate Lando Norris, who is currently 1.7 seconds in front of him. It's hammer time now for Pierre to get back up with his teammate. And it only took half a lap, but Pierre Gasly now back up with his teammate Lando Norris. He's being told at this moment in time, do not fight your teammate because you can just tag onto the back now, start topping up your ERS. So Pierre Gasly in a nice position, as are both Andretti Cadillacs, to be fair. This front five, any of these could win this Grand Prix early doors here. But Bottas still leading from Russell, who is now really putting the flying fin under pressure. It must be said, we've not seen a lot of this Audi livery, but my word, does it still look nice? We're 3 seasons in here, but this Audi Sport livery looking fantastic. Join us back as we come on to lap 10. Pierre Gasly, he must be said, he's struggling to keep up with Lando Norris. We are just going to be a little bit more aggressive, getting back in that DRS. But Russell is now leading the Grand Prix from Bottas, and those medium tyres are looking a lot more healthy than the soft compound tyre runners around him, especially Valtteri Bottas, who is on 55% softs. It's not quite working for Valtteri now. Verstappen is catching, as are Norris and Gasly, who are pushing hard to keep in this DRS train. Gap to Leclerc is now 4.4 seconds, and he's actually holding up Lance Stroll. Sainz is in P8, Zhou P9, and Ocon in P10. Perez down in P12 at this moment in time. Porsche, we know how good he was at the start of this season, languishing now down in P17 in the Alfa Romeo Haas. And Antonio Giovinazzi all the way at the back, just behind Mick Schumacher. We have a yellow flag on circuit. I was just coming back to tell you that Valtteri Bottas has been very much a bottleneck now. We can't seem to get past him. And it's Checo Perez, who it must be said, he's not having the greatest of Grand Prix here. In P11, behind the Mercedes. Just gets a little trigger happy on the throttle. He apologises to his team. But Checo Perez spinning there. It's not caused a safety car. Lando Norris pushing on behind Valtteri Bottas. The undercut seems the way to go here. We'll be pitting in a few laps' time. Right then, guys, lap 15, first pit stop of the day, and we are splitting it up a little bit. Pierre Gasly, he's coming into the pits, and he's coming in for a set of soft compound tyres. We reckon there will be a gap to get him out just behind Tsunoda, and this should allow him to push on. Then he's going to be on mediums towards the end. We may even go hards, depending on how it goes, but we need to ensure that Pierre Gasly looks after this second set of used soft compound tyres better than he did this first set. So Pierre Gasly in and out. It's a 3.2 second stop. Not the quickest in the world now. We are expecting to come out around Yuki Tsunoda. We are just going to watch this overtake on Lando Norris, getting Valtteri Bottas with the DRS wide open. Lando Norris has managed his tyres beautifully so far today, and that is lovely work from Lando past the Audi, and now chasing back up to the Red Bull he can see in front of him. But where is Pierre Gasly going to trundle out? We can see Yuki Tsunoda there. Gasly just coming out of the pits. Is he going to come out in front of him? He's not. He's going to be behind him, but he's in a nice gap once he gets past that Hugo Boss. So now Pierre Gasly can push on, attack the Hugo Boss, and go from there. And we'll come back when Lando's into the pits. And it took Pierre Gasly less than a lap to get past Yuki Tsunoda. Look at this for a move. I've got to say, Pierre Gasly overtaking is beautiful to watch at times. And there he goes, past the Hugo Boss of Yuki Tsunoda. Back up into P11 now, that is. And he's now pushing on the tyres and on the fuel. He's giving it absolutely everything, is Pierre Gasly. Meanwhile, Lando Norris having a look at the Red Bull of George Russell. Bearing in mind, George Russell's on the medium compounder tyres. We're onto the mediums next with Lando. We will be in, next lap. Lap 18, Pierre Gasly getting past Valtteri Bottas. Lovely work again down the inside. Valtteri Bottas has pit, but Pierre Gasly now in front of him. Lovely work once again. I just enjoy watching Pierre Gasly overtake people. I think he's fantastic at it. Is Pierre Gasly in front of Valtteri Bottas now. We are just going to calm him down on the tyres and on the fuel. We're just monitoring Lando Norris's position and where he would come out. And on lap 18, we're keeping an eye on Lando Norris because Lando Norris is coming in to the pits. We reckon we may just come out behind Bottas, but this opens up a lot of options for us now because he can really hammer these medium tyres and go onto a set of softs at the end, or he can do what he can really push these and then go onto another set of mediums. So we've got a lot of options with Lando Norris. It's a sub 3 second stop for Lando. Now, I would expect he's going to come out just behind Bottas and Gasly. Gasly is dragging along Valtteri Bottas here, and Pierre Gasly is also behind. I think that's Carlos Sainz. No, it's Esteban Ocon, his old teammate, and Gasly's just getting past him. Where is Lando Norris getting involved here? He does come out just, and I mean just, behind Valtteri Bottas. So a little bit of work for Lando Norris to do now, but on those mediums he can push on. Lap 19, Russell and Verstappen yet to pit. Lando Norris has just made one overtake. Let's have a little look at this, because he managed to get Valtteri Bottas, which was absolutely crucial, because he then got DRS as well. And as we can see, he's got a Mercedes in front of him. And what is he just about to do down the start-finish straight? Well, let's take a look, because as you can see, he's now past the Mercedes of Esteban Ocon. Lovely work from Lando, and he's back up into P7, and he's now going to be chasing his teammate. Lovely work from the two Andretti Cadillac drivers. They're just a pleasure to watch. Lando Norris, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 1:29.4. He's now on the back of his teammate Pierre Gasly. We have no team orders at this point, but if Lando gets past him, we will tell Pierre Gasly to just calm down and hang on to the back of the Andretti Cadillac. What we've also managed to do is drop Valtteri Bottas out of DRS range, which is absolutely crucial to our guys at this moment in time. Lap 21, the Red Bulls may be on a one-stop. Lap 22, they have swapped positions. Lando Norris did get in front of Pierre Gasly. There was no team orders. It was just pure pace that got him there. And now Lando's hopefully going to drag his teammate along. But Pierre Gasly now, if he can hang on, this will benefit him long term. Lando Norris is pushing on these tyres, but I think towards the end, another set of mediums might be the way to go. Verstappen and Russell now. Let's just have a little look at this. We are 20 seconds back. We will be in front of Verstappen and Russell when they pit. And we got Zhou Guanyu very much getting in the way. You can see there's a queue of cars waiting to get past that Williams. Pierre Gasly goes to the inside, probably not the way to go, but Lando Norris is past him, and if Pierre Gasly can get past him in a timely manner as well, this will benefit him. And as you can see, he's looking left and right now, trying to do that. We've told him, you attempt high-risk overtakes, because we need to get past these Williams. As Pierre Gasly now looks to the inside, the outside, can he get past? That Williams is being parked beautifully at this moment in time, and this is backing us up into Valtteri Bottas. But it weren't going to take forever, and Pierre Gasly is past him, going up towards 130R, managed to get it. He's got the grip, he's got the pace. I don't think Valtteri Bottas actually followed him through, so that could be crucial for Pierre Gasly's race today. I don't think he did. Let's just have a quick look now. Where is Valtteri Bottas? He's still sat behind Zhou Guanyu, and Pierre Gasly's got the job done. He can now push up once again towards his teammate. The first Red Bull has pit on lap 25, and that Red Bull is George Russell. Coming in on the medium from the medium compound tire. He's going onto the hards. It's a one-stop for the Red Bulls today. We're on the two-stop. Who's gonna triumph in the strategies? This is going to be such an interesting race towards the end. Lando Norris, as you can see, getting past Lance Stroll. Lovely work from Lando. Pierre Gasly chasing after him as well. It's all happening here. Russell now comes out behind Valtteri Bottas, but obviously he's not got to pits again. Lando Norris gap is 16 seconds to Verstappen. Gasly now coming up to the back of the Aston Martin. Pierre Gasly following his teammate through. We're just coming up to the halfway point in this race, and Pierre Gasly, lovely work again, down the start finish straight, past the Aston Martin. He's now up into P3, of course. Verstappen still not pitting at this moment in time. Norris is closing him down by the moment. I think there's two different races going on here. Lando Norris is racing for the win today. Gasly's racing for a podium. I can't see Gasly winning it, but Lando Norris certainly could. Coming on to lap 28, Max Verstappen is in to the pits for his pit stop. Onto the hard compounded tyre is Max Verstappen. Now let's see where he rejoins. That will mean that he currently is on circuit, and Andretti 1-2. We'll have a full rundown once we see where Max Verstappen is going to come out on track. I would suggest he's going to come out just behind his teammate. No, he's going to be in front of his teammate at this moment in time. George Russell has gained on him, but Verstappen's out in P4. Yellow flag on circuit. As we look at it now, Norris is leading with the fastest lap from Pierre Gasly. Then comes Bottas, Verstappen, Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Magnussen's in P8, Leclerc P9, Zhou is in P10. Lando Norris, 5-second gap to P2, and Gasly doing his utmost to hold up Valtteri Bottas. Lap 29, Nick De
Now, we see
Vries
this
locking
was
up
at
on
turn
circuit. We're going to
15.
bring you this. We've not seen too many mistakes today. We've seen obviously Checo Perez going off, but Nick De Vries locking up there. We get a fantastic replay camera. My word, that told you everything you needed to know. But Nick De Vries at this moment in time, I think that's just shunted him towards the back of the pack, to be fair. But Lando Norris at the moment, he's loving these medium compounded tyres. At a 130.1, he's not losing that much to the Red Bulls. And when we go on to a fresh set towards the end, whether it be softs or mediums, we are going to be absolutely rapid towards the end. We just need to ensure that Lando Norris has got enough time to chase down these Red Bulls. Lap 29. It's got to be said, this isn't being planned, but Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas can't overtake him at this moment. He probably is going to do here. He's now got two Red Bulls behind him who are getting incredibly frustrated that they can't get past the Andretti Cadillac. Pierre Gasly's going to be coming in a moment, but what this has allowed him to do is eke out these tyres a little bit and ensure that we've had a crash on circuit and he has smashed in to Valtteri Bottas, and I'm more concerned about the cost cap than the performance. We've had a crash on circuit. That is not going to mean that there is a safety car. I'm quite amazed that they were coming together there. I mean, it's a little bit messy from both cars. It does look like we've got a damaged car. What damage have we got here? We've got minor front wing damage, so we are going to have to get Pierre Gasly in this lap for a set of medium compounded tyres, and we need a new front wing as well. So Pierre Gasly in this lap, and that has let the two Red Bulls through. Pierre Gasly is in to the pits. We've just had a lock-up as well. Let's have a look at this while this is going on. George Russell locking up. I mean, if he'd have took his teammate out, that would have been great banter. But George Russell locking up here, doing what Nick did, and he so nearly did. My word. George Russell so nearly did. We are waiting for a front wing to magically appear on an Andretti Cadillac, and it has. 8.7 seconds is the stop. It's not the worst stop in the world, to be fair, for Pierre Gasly. He comes out in P10. It must be said, Max Verstappen now is lapping much quicker than Lando Norris. But once again, we are eking these tyres out. We could go on to a set of mediums, or we'll go on to the softs. But Gasly's now back out in P14, fresh set of medium compounded tyres, and he's got some overtaking to do. And overtaking is starting to be done because Pierre Gasly, lovely move down the inside there. He's now on the back of the Gulf Williams once again, and he's starting to make his way through the pipe. Don't write Pierre Gasly off for a decent result today, and it could have been a lot worse, that crash, to be fair. We've just stabilised the gap at the front, a 130.4. We were quicker than Max Verstappen on that last lap. I'm now wondering if we can eke this out to the soft compounded tyre. We may be very, very rapid towards the end, lap 35. Lando Norris is boxing this lap for the medium compounded tyre. We reckon that we are much, much quicker than both Red Bulls at the moment, and we reckon once we get onto a fresh set of medium compound tyres, we can push these now towards the end of this Grand Prix, and then we should be cooking on the proverbial gas as long as we do not have a bad pit stop here. Touch wood. Let's hope we don't. It's a decent-ish pit stop, is it? No, it's a poor pit stop. What are we doing, guys? 7.3 seconds. Oh my goodness. Has that pit stop just cost us the Grand Prix? That is the question we are now asking in the pit lane, because that has made Lando Norris's job a lot harder. And now Max Verstappen, he's got to stay in front of this Ferrari here. Does he manage to? Just about. My word, I thought that Ferrari were going into the back of us. He's now got 19 seconds to close in, what's that, around 16 laps? That could just have cost us there. Lando Norris now has got a job on his hands. If he can pull this off, I mean, you wouldn't back against him. Lando Norris, it's all on you. Pierre Gasly will still make his way through. He's still going to score points today. But, my word, has that just cost us a Grand Prix? Let me know down in the comments. Can he still win this? And Lando Norris is on the charge. He's caught up to Valtteri Bottas. He's passed Valtteri Bottas. And Lando Norris now, he knows what he's got to do. He's closing at a rate of knots. It must be said, we're pushing with everything here with Lando Norris in Suzuka. Let's just have a look. The gap to the leader is 18 seconds now. The last lap time was a 130.7, plays a 130.2. So it must be said, we got held up a little bit there. Lando is pushing on absolutely everything. Come on, Lando. But now he's closing. Last lap of Lando Norris's fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 128.4. Gap to Verstappen, 16 seconds, 13 laps to go. And it's not just Lando Norris, of course. Pierre Gasly is still doing what he does best, overtaking people. He's just got past, I think that's Mick Schumacher in the Audi, so he's now back up into the points. Here's Pierre Gasly. We enjoyed seeing that. Pierre Gasly will probably still gain another couple of positions at this moment in time, but all my eyes are focused on is Max Verstappen. We are still pushing. The hard compound tyres are wearing. Lando Norris is going to be in a good position towards the end, but can he catch him? And it must be said, let's just have a look in front of Gasly. He's got a few cars now that don't look like they're pitting. Gasly's maximum might be sort of P8, P7 today, but come on, Lando. Lando Norris, another fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 128.7 with that, a 128.4, 128.4 again. He is now on the back of George Russell. Once he can get past this Red Bull, he can push on. We're just harvesting a little bit on the ERS because we know we are going to get the chance in a moment to go once again. Gasly is now coming down the start-finish straight. Bottas is in the pits, and Bottas, we are past him. P8 now for Pierre Gasly, but Lando Norris well in the fight. We are seeing a highlight of George Russell and Lando Norris still going at it, but it must be said, he's doing such a job for his teammate here, George Russell, because as we're going to cut back to the live action, you think we've possibly got it done. We didn't get it done because he's still fighting us hammer and tongue. We've just got past him. We've got 4 laps to go and 6 seconds to catch. It looks like it's a little bit beyond us at this point in time, and how crucial is it that that pit stop went so wrong for Lando Norris? I can't even say how dismayed I am at it, but if he catches Verstappen now, it would be something pretty special. We have got a crash on circuit though late in this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc, this might help Pierre Gasly a little bit, just coming together. Oh, and that's the wing on of the Ferrari. It's slowed up the Aston Martin, it's slowed up the Mercedes behind. There's a lot of swear words there. I'm assuming you at home can guess what all they are, but that is going to really help Pierre Gasly's race. 5.6 seconds is the gap for Lando Norris. He's giving it absolutely everything, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Final lap of the Grand Prix, and it looks like Max Verstappen has got it in the bag, and it's so disappointing because we had a 7 or 8 second pit stop, and if we hadn't have got that would have been 4 seconds quicker. We would have been in front of Max Verstappen and we would have won this Grand Prix. You can't say anything against Lando Norris. He's given it absolutely everything today, but Max Verstappen is going to round the final chicane and couple of corners. And it's got to be said, Lady Luck was on his side today. Max Verstappen wins the Japanese Grand Prix. It's P2 for Lando Norris. A fantastic drive from him. We could have done so much better. But what can Pierre Gasly do here? We are going to go high on the overtaking. He's actually going to run out of fuel, Pierre Gasly. This could be absolutely crucial because he's going to run out of fuel. And it is not. That is completely my fault, and I can't say anything against that. That is my fault. Pierre Gasly now is struggling to get to the line. Is he going to manage to get to the line? I highly doubt it. He's conserving as much as he can. But Pierre Gasly, please just limp to the line. He stops on circuit. We aren't going to get any points for Pierre Gasly, and that is purely my fault. And I know I'm going to get some jip down in the comments. I can only apologise, but Pierre Gasly is out of the Grand Prix, and that is that. Let's get to the podium.
The Red Bull team are going to be celebrating tonight, I bet. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Constructors' Champions.
They've really dominated this season. The competition struggled to mount a serious challenge.
Lando Norris certainly loves a podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
Podium number 8 now, I think they've reached this season. That's really impressive.
Karun there showing us Lando Norris 8 podiums this season. Pierre Gasly's going to be fuming with me, and I can't knock him. And we also learned that Max Verstappen has just secured Red Bull the Constructors' title. So fair play to Red Bull, unstoppable this season once again. But your top 3 was Verstappen, Norris and Russell, Stroll in P4, Leclerc P5. We really should have got some points with Pierre Gasly. Carlos Sainz 6th, 7th for Zhou Guanyu, Mick Schumacher 8th, Magnussen 9th, and Bottas in P10. Drivers standings wise, Max Verstappen on 384 points, Russell still in P2, but Lando Norris still is very much securing that P3 now. 251 points for Lando, Gasly, I can only apologise for. He made a mistake with Bottas. I made a mistake on the fuel. These things happen. Unfortunate for Pierre Gasly. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Another action-packed Grand Prix. I believe we've got a sprint weekend coming up next. So I hope you've enjoyed. Please do like and subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one. Ta-ra!